Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to the Golf Club, coming to you from a slightly different situation here in the studio. But this week on the show, we visit the Aviation Golf and Country Club, positioned of course near Auckland International Airport. It opened around about 37 years ago, and since its inception has changed radically. It's been the breeding ground of future champions. Young Larissa Erawera became the youngest ever winner of a New Zealand amateur crown back in 2006, and she plays her golf at Aviation. So let's check it out on this week's show. By virtue of its location alongside the Auckland International Airport, the Aviation Country Club is unlike any golf course in the country. The course, which is now 37 years on from inception, offers extensive and idyllic views of the Manukau Harbour on a testing parkland layout. There's little doubt that Aviation has come a long way since its humble beginnings.
At the beginning there was a model aeroplanes and a gun club, which have now vanished, thank God for that. You know, playing golf with a gun club's not the best. It's developed very nicely. The greens have come on beautifully. The course is really a hidden jewel. Not many people know about it. Our membership's around about 900, which involves juniors, social seniors and men's and women's. And of course we have an influx from overseas, being the airport locally. We have a lot of overseas visitors come on and quite amazed by the course.
The Aviation Country Club is popular with visitors, but for those who've not played this course, it is a best-kept secret. The locals are pretty parochial, and they believe it's one of the best courses in Auckland.
The greens have come on so dramatically over the last 5 years that they really are as good as anything else around.
In recent times, Aviation has been the breeding ground for a national champion. After starting at the age of 8 at Aviation, Larissa Erawera became the youngest New Zealand amateur champion of 2006.
It always presents a challenge because I can play with the blue tees, white tees. We've just recently, the last few years, got red tees for women. Makes a bit of a challenge, mix of men's and women's tees. Played with a lot of the top men around here, and my dad probably likes to think he helped me as well. But
So, how does Larissa rate Aviation as a true test?
I don't think it's the easiest course in the world. There's a few tight holes on the back nine. You can put a good front nine, and then you get around 13, 16, 17. Not easy holes, so you can make some big numbers there. I know I have. There's a few tighter driving holes where you do have to have a draw or a fade and be able to shape the ball pretty good and put it in the right place for your second shot, make it easier to get closer to the pin.
Larissa begins us on the course tour at the par 3 fifth. That is a good test.
Fifth hole at Aviation, it's a par 3, 160 metres off our women's red tees and 178 off the men's back tees, blue tees. It's a pretty good par 3, you've got bunkers right and left, it's all carries, a bit of a false front as well. If you miss the green, you've got to test the up and down for par. It's a pretty slopey green, you can have pretty big breaking putts. You can tuck a pin away on the right as well. Right or left, back, doesn't make it easy to get to. Par's a very good score here, middle of the green, off the tees, a pretty good option most of the time.
And that is what Larissa made. Scott Lowry is another product of the Aviation Country Club. He believes the course is something special.
Plays to a multitude of players as well. The front nine tends, you want to play with more of a fade sort of a shot. The back nine sets up for somebody that plays with a draw. So if you got one or the other, you can play quite well around here.
We put Scott's local knowledge to the test at the stroke 1 7th, which is the signature hole.
Number 7, 394 metres long. Dog legs round to the right, approximately got a 200 metre carry from the tee. Then we're heading down quite a tight, narrow little chute to a semi-narrow green. Green's very deceptive because it's 40 metres long, and it also is a big double green that backs onto the second hole as well, so we come quite tight in the back corner of the golf course. It trips up a lot of people. Lots of trouble short, way down the right-hand side of the golf course and round to the side and back of the green. So there's a lot of trouble on this hole. It's a risk-reward hole. Take more of the corner off, you've got a shorter shot into the green, and it's a good challenge off the tee.
And Scott almost made a birdie on the testing par 4. Here's another chance on the 8th that is a formidable par 5.
The start of the hole is quite tough. We've got quite a narrow gap to get through. Opens up probably 250 metres to the corner of the dog leg, so a good drive is required off the tee. Not many get there until on this hole. Summer, yeah, we can do, but it's normally played straight into the prevailing wind here, and it's normally quite strong. We've got a very well bunkered green. The green's over 2 levels. When the pin's back on the top level on the left-hand side, it's very hard to get through. And it's definitely a 3-shot par 5 when the pin's back on the left.
And Scott made short work of the par 5 8th with a fine birdie. A good downhill putt, just reward at the end of a well-played hole. And that is the front 9 at Aviation. But before we head out on the back, we'll take a look inside the clubhouse to see some of the history. The course record holder is Michael Campbell for the men with a 66, and Larissa Erawera holds the ladies' course record. We'll get back to the action at one of the best holes on the course, the 13th.
It's a very, very demanding driving hole. We've got a hazard with the lake short, out of bounds left with the estuary, and anything left of centre or left of the fairway is pretty much guaranteed to go out of bounds. If you're a little bit too far right, you're in the trees. The longer hitters can go through the gap up towards the green, but it's a very risk-reward driving hole as well. It is new green, so you've got to have a pretty good approach shot, land it short, let it jump up, or you're going to have a downhill putt or out the back of the green most of the time. A par's a very, very good score here.
And Larissa goes one better than par, making a great birdie at the 13th to show why she's highly regarded in the New Zealand ranks. On to the 14th. It's another good test from the tee, as Scott explains.
We've got a lot of hazard down the left-hand side. It's a sharp dogleg to the left. It's an interesting hole in the terms of you can hit a multiple clubs off the tee, say from 3-iron to driver, and how much the dogleg is we've almost had the same amount of club into the green. So depending on the wind is what club we're going to select off the tee. The green, there's 2 bunkers. There's a bunker short of the green on the left and the right, and the right side goes a little bit further to the middle of the green. It's about 20-30 metres long, but yeah, it's very approachable.
Scott almost makes birdie at the 14th, but he's happy with a par. On to the final challenge, where you can't afford to relax. Larissa talks us through the deceptively tough par 3 18th.
This is the final hole at Aviation. It's a challenging par 3 just because of its length, really. It's 173 metres off the back tee. It's all carry up there, and we've got a prevailing headwind. So you'll be hitting up to a driver off the back tees, even for the ladies off our tees. It'll be a long club in. It's not a lot of trouble, but just because of the length of the green as well, there's a huge variation in the club you're going to hit from day to day. One of the few that finishes with a par 3, so it is a nice finish going straight into the clubhouse, so people like to watch what you do.
And Larissa, who's bound for a scholarship in the United States, sets up a late birdie chance to sign off in style.
Hope you've enjoyed a look around Aviation Country Club, and we hope to see you here sometime soon.
Aviation Country Club welcomes all visitors. It's affordable to play at only $40 for affiliated and $60 for non-affiliated. If you'd like your club to be featured on the golf club, contact us at golf@sportsing.co.nz.